I was absolutely heartbroken at this story. Absolutely 100% heartbroken at this story. It was a shooting that I believe claimed the lives of 4 victims, 2 teachers, 2 students. Over in Georgia, no, not Atlanta. Atlanta is not the center of every single thing. It may be the biggest city inside of Georgia, but it did not happen in Atlanta. I heard that it happened outside of Atlanta. And so we're going to take you over there in order to give y'all an update on what's happening in the most local or the most up-to-date news on it. What's happening here? The most up-to-date news on it, and then we're going to mine out, and I'm going to give y'all my thoughts afterwards.
And that's where we're going to begin, with a lot of hurting hearts and a lot of hate, it seems, in this country. It's happened again in another American community reeling from deadly gun violence. Here's what we know so far. It happened at Appalachia High School, that's in Barrow County, Georgia, about 45 miles east of Atlanta. Investigators say that a student opened fire, killing 2 other students, both of them just 14 years old, and 2 teachers. The weapon was an AR-style rifle. 9 others have been hurt, and the alleged killer is also 14 years old. His name, we're told, is Colt Gray, and he is now in custody. He has been charged with murder, and prosecutors say that he will be tried as an adult.
This is the deadliest school shooting in Georgia's history. 14-year-old Marquez Coleman saw the shooter open fire.
I'm sitting like this and the door is like this. So something just told me to look to my left. I look to my left, I see a kid he had like a big gun, it was like an AR with he got his head sticking out the door with the gun. And then then I got up, I started running, he started shooting like 10 times. He shot at least 10 times. And then I ran to the back of the classroom. I dived behind the desk, and my teacher had got in front of me, like he was guarding. But like the gunshots were so close to me, like my ears started ringing real bad. Like the whole classroom was smoking, like, and everything. And then when he finally got out of the classroom, my teacher started barricading the door with desks and bookshelves and all that. And then I had got up. I had saw one of my classmates on the ground, bleeding so bad.
Marquez's father said his son called him during the shooting screaming and crying. Later, he found a bullet hole in a laptop marked by a bullet in his son's backpack. Mark Strassman is in Barrow County, Georgia with the latest. Mark, good morning.
Good morning, Nate. The FBI now says that local deputies questioned the suspect and his father last year. The reason at the time, online threats to carry out a school shooting by the suspect, who was 13 years old at the time. But the father told deputies that his son had no access to guns in the house. The suspect denied making those threats at the time, and so there were no arrests until yesterday.
Jesus Christ. Some of y'all tune in on Monday nights, right? And some of you guys have been tuning in on Monday nights for a long time. And I believe maybe a couple months ago, it might have been 2.5 months ago, I did a panel where it might have been a little bit older than that, but I did a panel and we were debating about teacher safety. And I'm not sure why we use that subject or where that came from, but we were talking about teacher safety. And I was saying, and my stance has always been, that teachers should be able to carry inside of their classrooms. That teachers should be able to carry inside of their classrooms. And boy, was I berated and told that I was wrong, and no, it shouldn't happen, and that shouldn't be a thing, and teachers shouldn't be able to carry inside of their classrooms, and all of this, so on and so forth. And so, okay, so let's assume that y'all don't want teachers to be able to carry inside of the classrooms. Okay, cool. So what's the alternative at this point? Just asking for a friend. Just asking for a friend. What's the alternative at this point? Considering that monsters are waiting at the door. We know parents are not doing their job. We know parents is not on top of it. We know that that's not a thing, right? What's the alternative? Just curious. Want to know what y'all think. What's the alternative?
First responders rushed to Appalachia High School around 10:20 Wednesday morning after getting reports of an active shooter. Investigators say 2 school resource officers quickly encountered a 14-year-old student with an AR platform-style weapon inside the school. They say he quickly surrendered.
When this shooting began, they interacted with the shooter, and as soon as they made contact with him, he gave up immediately.
The sheriff credits a fast response to school faculty. They alerted law enforcement to an active situation using a button on ID cards, a new system he said had been in use for only about a week.
The heroes that we need to remember is our faculty and staff here at this school. They acted admirably. The protocols at this school and this system activated, prevented this from being a much larger tragedy than what we had here today.
Investigators say the shooter killed 4 people, including 2 students, 14-year-old Christian Angulo and Mason Schermerhorn, and 2 teachers, 39-year-old Richard Aspinwall and 53-year-old Christina Ermy. 8 other students and 1 teacher were taken to hospitals with gunshot wounds and other injuries and are expected to survive.
What was going through your mind?
I was scared because I didn't know if my mom was informed. I was crying. I was scared I was going to die.
Melanie Alvarez says she hurried from the bathroom to her classroom when a school alarm went off.
You really thought this could be it?
Yeah, because we heard banging the first time, and then we heard somebody yell, get down," to somebody outside of the hall, but we didn't know who it was.
They go by a line down this aisle right here after this deputy.
After catching the suspect, police say they went class by class,
We got a whole school to get evacuated.
evacuating the roughly 1,900 students to the football field to reunite with their parents.
Could have been me.
Freshman Ariana Carter said police escorted her down a hallway where shots had been fired.
We, of course, see like the blood and stuff from them, and they have it like dusted off, so like it's kind of covered, but not really. There's a shoe that was bloody on it.
Love will prevail over what happened today.
Wednesday night, hundreds came together for a vigil.
I just felt like I needed to be here.
What's the alternative? What's the alternative? I'm curious. What's the alternative? I'm going to tell you like this, and I'm going to be real with you. And I already found that I know exactly when we live streamed it and everything. And I'm not going to play it right here as far as that debate. But I'm going to just tell you like this. I remember as a kid. Now, you got to remember I'm 42 years old. And this is still happening today. It's not happening in mass, or it didn't happen in mass the way that they're doing it now. Right? But I remember personally that we had metal detectors, right? We had metal detectors. I was at the old one. I think they got metal detectors at the new school because they tore the old one down and they built a new one. And I went to one of the best high schools inside of the city. And I remember personally, guys used to sneak pistols inside of the school. Sneak them in through the windows. You know what I'm saying? It was always a way. It was always a way, or they would come in late, and then they would come in through a back door where it wasn't metal detectors, anything. Come in through the gym door, whatever it was that they needed to do. I remember dudes used to be having pistols inside of the school all day long. All day long. So think about this for a minute. 14-year-old, 15-year-old, 16-year-old, 17-year-olds are strapped in school, and you helpless. And y'all talking about a security guard? A security guard. I remember dudes' lockers getting raided inside of the school. And we went to one of the better schools. Now, a lot of those schools out there, they don't even have the same security measures. They don't even have metal detectors and all of that stuff. How many more parents, how many more teachers, how many more students got to die before we actually start the solution for it and stop just saying, well, you know, we just going to pray. And please miss me with this assault ban, gun control stuff. I don't want to hear none of that stuff. I know that that's the liberal way of thinking, and that's the way that y'all think is just going to solve for it. But let me tell you something. When people have an objective, that's what they're going to execute on. And when you take away the right of real people, of real citizens, of being able to protect themselves, then that's when absolute chaos consumes us.
We have developing news this morning. A 14-year-old boy from Georgia now stands accused of shooting and killing 4 people at his high school, and he's going to be transferred to a youth detention facility today.
Sheriff's deputies say he went on a rampage, injuring 9 others. KTLA's Eric Spellman in the newsroom.
Can't wait to hear Kamala Harris' thought on
Morning,
this.
Megan. Morning, Chris. This 14-year-old boy had been on the FBI's radar for more than a year.
He's on FBI radar.
Say he had posted threats online before, and yesterday authorities say he showed up at his high school with an AR-style weapon and opened fire.
Be with us, bless us, and walk with us each day as we go forward.
A minister tries to console a community. Young people pray and grieve and cry. They light candles and leave flowers outside a school. It is the aftermath of yet another school shooting, this one in Winder, Georgia, 50 miles northwest of Atlanta. It happened during second period at Appalachia High School. Witnesses say the 14-year-old student...
Has anybody got a picture? Because I looked up this Colt guy. I think his name was Colt Gray. I looked up this Colt Gray guy, and I have not been able to find a picture of this young guy at all yet. So if anybody find a picture, I'm going to stay on top of it.
Identified as Colt Gray, left his algebra class and then came back armed with a rifle. He tried to walk back into class, but the door was locked. At that point, he began shooting in the hallway, killing 2 teachers and 2 students. Ultimately, he surrendered to school resource officers and was arrested. But for what seemed like a very long time, students throughout the school heard the gunfire and took shelter under their desks.
It's going to sound like a long time all the time. Of course it's going to sound like a very long time.
I was listening and you could hear gunshots like just ringing out through the school, and like you're just wondering like which one of those is going to be somebody that you're like best friends with or somebody that you love. And it's like it's really like a terrifying thing.
So in case you're wondering, it's not a drill.
Cell phone video recorded by a student shows what it was like inside a classroom during the lockdown. You can hear the girl sobbing in fear. Now, the 4 people who were killed were identified as 39-year-old Richard Aspinwall, a math teacher, and another teacher, 53-year-old.
Well, he definitely made sure that he diversified. He got the white woman, the white man, the black student, and then he got Christian Angulo. He definitely had diversity, equity, and inclusion in his execution style.
Christina Irimi, as well as 2 14-year-old students, Mason Schermerhorn and Christian Angulo. Schermerhorn is described by friends and family as a lighthearted kid who liked reading, telling jokes, playing video games, and visiting Disney World. As for the suspected killer, the FBI says in 2023, Georgia police went to his home after he'd made threats online. They interviewed the boy and his father. The dad said there were guns in the house, but he told cops his son did not have unsupervised access to them.
They conducted an investigation at that time, and there was no probable cause for arrest or to take any additional law enforcement action.
However, one of the suspected shooter's classmates says she thinks law enforcement missed the signs that should have shown them the young man was violent and dangerous.
The lives that were taken here today, all the students that died, the teachers that died, all the students that...
Somebody says Anton, the boy is 14, so maybe they omitting the picture of him because it's not found. Yeah, but here's the key though. They showing all of the victims' pictures. They showing the kids that got killed. They showing the grown folks that got killed. Why we try to, man, listen. That little punk was old enough to go and carry an AR-style weapon inside of the school, and then he had the balls to actually pull the trigger, not once, not twice, but at least 4 times on 4 different people taking lives. So you telling me that we still being overly sensitive about making sure that we're protecting his image because he's still a minor? I don't understand. Where did they show him? Somebody told me that they showed him already. Where? Where is the picture? Somebody email it to me. I'm looking for the picture. I looked it up. I don't see it. They got pictures of the victims. Is this the boy right here? No, they're not creating t-shirts with this boy's name on it, right? Is this the boy right here? No way that this is him. No way that this is him. I got a picture. All right, somebody tell me if this is him. Is this him? Somebody tell me if this is him. This is what they're showing online. That's not him? Some people saying yes, some people saying no. Some people saying yes, 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 no. That's him. No, yep, nope, yep. Okay, so that was a student that attended. All right. Y'all, that's not him, blonde hair. That's a kid from Oklahoma. All right, so we're going to figure it out. I'm going to find out what it is. I'll find out more information, and then I'll update you guys and see what's going on, because I like to actually find the facts out before I say that it is or it isn't. So I'll find out more information, and then I'll go from there. Until then, let me post this. Let me show y'all one more video of an eyewitness. I don't want to talk about this no more. I'm done with this. It's disgusting. It's just absolutely disgusting. I don't even want to talk about this no more.
Faith, please, the floor is yours once again. Talk to us. Who do you have with you, and what more can they tell us?
Well, Kara, we're hearing more harrowing details about what happened inside that school early this morning, as you were just detailing there. We have with us Alexandria Romero. She's a sophomore, and you said you actually heard the gunshots. You were in second period at the time. Tell me what happened.
I was in the hall next to it. So I heard it, but it was very vaguely, you know. So the teachers came in and they were like, everybody get on the floor, cover yourselves. Like we were all hugging each other. So we were all it was a small little ball of us all holding each other. And I remember my friends crying. They were all scared. And then 2 police officers came in with their guns. Telling us not to move, that it's still not safe. And we were in that classroom for 10 minutes before they even let us go out. When the time was finally up, we went to the hallway that it happened in, and that's when I saw my math teacher, and he was all covered. I saw blood everywhere. It was sad.
And you've shared videos with us showing the hallway where you guys were walking as you were evacuating. Describe, our viewers can't see the video right now, but describe to us.
Yeah, that is crazy. Homeboy in the back, he got tattoos all over his arm, cornrows. What the hell y'all got going on in Georgia?
What you just showed us in those videos.
It was basically my math teacher, just a white cover with...
Dude got tats on his arms, though.
It's on top of him, but in the video, y'all about to see, it's a blood there, but it was really quick. Everybody was in a rush trying to get out.
And of course...
This is crazy, bro. This is absolutely insane. So again, prayers up for the families, prayers up for the victims, prayers up to everybody that's affected by it, prayers up to everybody that's a part of that school. Because now this school and this whole shooting is going to be memorialized. That's one of the worst things that happened. But we never have any real solutions as to what's going on. Some of y'all said that y'all sent the picture to my email. Let me see something. Give me a second. Y'all sending me two different pictures. All right, y'all sending me multiple emails, but I can't tell which one is actually the real person. I don't know what that is. So y'all sending me multiple emails, and I'm getting all of this stuff, but I can't tell what's what. So I'm going to just hold off and wait until I find out whether or not it's actually him or not, and then we're going to go from there. All right, so make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications.